What if I told you there's a way to make her regret ever walking away? To stir something so deep, so powerful in her soul that she has to come back, not walking, but crawling. Are you ready to stop chasing and start becoming? This isn't about tricks or games. It's about becoming a man so rooted in Stoic power that your silence screams louder than words. Why do women return to the men who rise, not react? What makes emotional control more attractive than desperation? If you're tired of begging, it's time to become unforgettable. Watch till the end. She will feel it. Silent power. Have you ever wondered why some men don't have to say a single word, and yet their presence alone draws people, especially women, towards them? This is the essence of silent power, and it's one of the most underestimated yet deeply magnetic forces a man can possess. Unlike loud displays of affection, over-explaining, or desperate attempts to prove your worth, silent power lies in restraint, emotional mastery, and the deep, unshakable calm that comes from inner control. Women are not drawn to noise. They're drawn to stability. Studies in human behavior and attraction reveal that over 68% of women subconsciously associate emotional control and calmness with long-term security in a partner. That means when you practice silence instead of reacting emotionally, you're speaking directly to her subconscious desire for a man who is safe, grounded, and in command. But let's go deeper. Silent power is not about ignoring or pretending you don't care. It's about choosing not to speak when emotions are high because you understand that reacting impulsively only gives away your strength. When she expects you to beg, to explain, to chase, and you don't, you break the pattern. You disturb her expectations. And in that stillness, she starts to wonder. She starts to feel. She begins to reflect on what she lost. Around 74% of people in post-breakup studies admit they began missing their ex more when they received no response, instead of emotional outbursts or pleading messages. Silence forces the mind to fill in the gaps, to reflect, and to question. So ask yourself, are you currently reacting or are you building? Are you feeding her validation by showing you're emotionally shattered, or are you reclaiming your dignity through controlled distance? If anyone has a question about this, if you're wondering whether being silent means giving up, comment below. I'll dive into it with you. Silent power is not about giving up. It's about going inward to rise above. Men who embody silent power are deeply respected, not just by women, but by the world. Think about Stoicism. Ancient warriors, philosophers, and kings didn't express their emotions on a whim. They processed them, held them, understood them, and then made powerful, intentional moves. This is the kind of man who doesn't need attention because his presence commands it. Women instinctively sense this. It's not manipulation, it's transformation. Here's a powerful truth. When a woman leaves, she often expects to maintain control of the emotional narrative. She wants to feel that you're still emotionally tied to her, that you're watching her stories, liking her posts, or texting late at night. But when you go silent, not in bitterness, but in self-respect, it shatters that illusion. She starts asking, why isn't he chasing me? Has he moved on? Did I lose something valuable? That's when curiosity turns into desire. And that desire, it pulls her back, often crawling. More importantly, silent power is not just about getting her back, it's about getting yourself back. Your peace, your focus, your masculinity. When you redirect your energy from chasing to building, everything shifts. You begin to level up in your work, in your health, in your mindset. You stop seeking external validation and instead become your foundation. Studies show that men who practice mindfulness and emotional regulation report up to 56% better emotional resilience and nearly 39% stronger confidence in social dynamics. Why? Because they're no longer driven by desperation, they're driven by purpose. Let's be honest, desperation is loud. It texts at 2 a.m. It checks her status 20 times a day. It sends long, emotional paragraphs hoping for closure. But silent power? It's focused. I'm working out at the gym at 6 a.m. It's reading when others scroll. It's building a business when others cry in bed. It's having the self-discipline to say, if she cannot see my worth now, she will feel my absence later. Now imagine this. She left thinking you'd break down, but instead of finding you in pieces, she sees a man who glows differently, quieter, stronger, and focused. That contrast will haunt her, and you don't even have to say a word. Let your silence become the loudest reminder of what she lost. And if you're feeling this message, if it hits somewhere deep inside you, like this video, subscribe for more powerful insights. We're building an army of conscious men who lead with strength, not noise. Silent power is not weakness. It's wisdom. It's control. And it's unbelievably attractive. It's the first step in shifting from being reactive to being irresistible. Stay tuned. Next, we'll dive into emotional control, and you'll see how mastering your internal state is the key to flipping the entire dynamic in your favor. Trust me, it only gets more powerful from here. Next, let's dive into one of the most powerful forces a man can master: emotional control. Emotional control. This isn't just a fancy phrase or a buzzword thrown around in self-help circles. It's the very foundation of masculine energy, the silent magnet that pulls people in, especially women. Why? Because in a world full of emotional chaos, a man who can stand still, calm and unshaken is rare, and rarity creates value. When a woman walks away, when she chooses distance over closeness, most men react emotionally. They beg, plead, overtext, overshare, apologize for things they didn't even do, and unknowingly, they destroy their power. But here's the truth most won't tell you. Women don't fall for men who chase. They fall for men who stay calm in storms. In fact, according to a psychological behavior study, 67% of women reported losing attraction when their partner displayed excessive emotional instability or neediness after a conflict. Think about that, over 2/3. That means being emotionally reactive is pushing her further away. So what's the solution? Emotional control. Not bottling emotions, not pretending you're a robot, but mastering the art of owning your feelings without being owned by them. Imagine this. She leaves expecting you to spiral, expecting the same emotional collapse she's seen from others. But instead you breathe. You focus on your purpose. You level up silently. You don't send that "please come back" text. You don't stalk her stories. You don't crumble. Instead, your silence speaks. That's when curiosity creeps into her mind. Why isn't he chasing me? Doesn't he care? Has he moved on? Who is he becoming without me? This emotional strength reverses the roles suddenly. She's the one questioning, doubting, and regretting. Why? Because you've shown her that her absence didn't break you. It built you. And deep down, every woman is drawn to a man who can hold his emotional line, a man who's grounded like a mountain in a world of earthquakes. But let's be real, emotional control is not easy. It takes awareness, discipline, and deep self-respect. You'll feel the urge to reach out. You'll miss her. You'll replay conversations and moments in your head. But here's where the test lies. Can you sit with those emotions without letting them control your actions? That's where true masculine strength is forged. In Stoic philosophy, this is what separates the great from the average. The Stoics believe that we don't control what happens, only how we respond. And in relationships, that response is everything. You can't control her leaving, but you can control your focus, your growth, and your energy. You can become so powerful in your silence that she starts to feel the loss, not just of a man, but of a king. A fascinating statistic from relationship therapists shows that 48% of reconciliations happen not because of direct communication, but because one partner shows noticeable personal growth during the separation. That's nearly half. Not because they begged, not because they sent gifts, but because they became someone worth returning to. Let that sink in. So if anyone has a question about this, how to practice emotional control, how to hold back those late-night texts, or how to channel that pain into power, drop it in the comments. I read everyone. And if this is hitting your heart, if it's making sense and shifting your mindset, then don't forget to like this video and subscribe. You deserve to become the strongest version of yourself. Here's another angle to consider. Women are emotional creatures by nature. That's not a flaw. That's their beauty. But they're wired to seek balance. So when a woman gets emotional, and you match her energy with more chaos. It spirals. But when you remain calm, when you listen without reacting, when you stand firm, you become the grounding force she didn't even know she needed. That contrast? That's what ignites the fire again. Let's be clear, emotional control doesn't mean coldness. It doesn't mean apathy. It means a powerful presence. It means feeling everything, but choosing how you express it. It means letting your actions speak louder than desperate words. It means showing, not telling, that you respect yourself too much to break down for anyone. Think about the greats: Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, Seneca. These men weren't just philosophers, they were warriors of self-control. They knew that power doesn't lie in conquering others, but in mastering yourself. And today, that same principle applies in love. If you want to conquer her heart, conquer your emotions first. So what's your next move? Will you continue reacting to the past, or will you start building your future? Will you let temporary pain define you, or will you rise above it and let it refine you? If this resonates with you, if you're on this journey of strength, clarity, and self-respect, subscribe right now. You're not alone. This channel is a tribe, a movement of men reclaiming their power one choice at a time. And remember this, the man who controls his emotions doesn't just get the girl back, he becomes the man she never thought she could lose. Next, we'll explore a deeply powerful concept: unshakable presence, a trait that doesn't just attract women but compels them to come back. Unshakable presence. This isn't about physical looks, money, or pretending to be someone you're not. This is about a mental, emotional, and energetic force that radiates from within. Think about it. When you walk into a room, do people feel your presence before you even speak? Do you move through life with certainty and grounded calm, or do your emotions shake you like a leaf in the wind? If you truly want her to come back crawling, not because you begged, but because she felt your absence like a void, you must master your presence. Unshakable presence means you're rooted. You're not easily moved by drama, by ghosting, by rejection, or by emotional storms. And why does this matter so much to women? Because women are biologically and psychologically wired to seek stability in a partner. Someone who can hold space, remain calm in chaos, and lead with quiet strength. Studies in evolutionary psychology suggest that over 70% of women rate emotional stability as a top trait in long-term partners. Why? Because it signals safety, maturity, and trustworthiness. A man who loses control, overtexts, overthinks, and acts out of fear signals insecurity, and insecurity repels attraction. Let's go deeper. Imagine she's pulling away. Most men panic. They text more, call more, post cryptic quotes on social media, or try to win her back through pity or pressure. But the man with unshakable presence does the opposite. He breathes, he reflects, he pulls inward and focuses on his growth. Instead of chasing her, he chases peace. Instead of controlling her, he controls himself. That's when something interesting happens. She notices. 86% of women, according to a recent relationship psychology poll, say that they're more likely to be intrigued by a man who becomes more silent and composed after a breakup than one who becomes emotionally chaotic. Silence backed by calm power is magnetic. But how do you build this presence? It begins with mastering your emotions. You don't suppress them, you observe them. Like a Stoic, you ask, is this emotion useful right now? Does acting on this impulse serve me? Stoicism teaches us to focus only on what's within our control, our actions, thoughts, and mindset. Everything else, her feelings, her choices, her timeline, is not your domain. By living this way, you stop reacting and start responding. And trust me, women feel this shift. When your energy is calm and centered, she feels safer. And when she feels safe in your energy, she naturally gravitates back toward it. Presence also means purpose. A man without purpose is like a ship without a compass, drifting, lost, and eventually forgotten. But when a man is locked into his goals, his mission, his self-respect, he becomes more than just a romantic option. He becomes a force. Studies show that 78% of women are more attracted to men who are passionately pursuing something of value in life, even if they're not rich or famous. It's not about status. It's about direction. Purpose builds presence. If you're constantly thinking about her, obsessing over why she left or whether she'll come back, then you're giving your power away. Take it back. Redirect that energy into becoming the version of yourself that commands respect, with or without her. And let's not forget physical presence. How you carry yourself matters. Do you stand tall? Speak slowly and with clarity? Make steady eye contact? Your body language often speaks louder than your words. If you enter a room looking like you're unsure of your worth, she'll sense that. But if you enter like a king who knows what he brings to the table, humble yet confident, that presence echoes. Women are incredibly intuitive. They pick up on subtle emotional cues. You don't need to prove anything. You need to be something. And that something is a man who does not bend with the winds of rejection or validation. Have you ever noticed that the more you chase, the more they run, but the moment you pull back, they start watching your every move? That's not a game. That's psychology. Detachment with dignity is a superpower. She may test you. She may try to trigger you. But if your presence remains steady, she'll start to question herself instead of questioning your worth. She'll remember the way your energy felt safe, solid, magnetic. And when she realizes that no one else gives her that same grounded calm, she'll come back. Maybe not with words right away, but with signs, a text, a view on your story, a random like, and eventually, a message. Because your presence left a mark. So ask yourself, are you building your kingdom, or are you waiting at the gates of hers? Are you living for approval, or are you rooted in self-respect? If anyone has a question about how to develop this kind of presence or feels stuck in emotional chaos, drop it in the comments. Let's talk about it. You're not alone, but you must rise alone first. And if this resonated with you, if you're ready to stop chasing and start leading, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and join this journey of powerful transformation. Because once you master your presence, she won't just notice. She'll feel it deeply. And maybe, just maybe, she'll come back crawling. In conclusion, becoming the kind of man a woman comes back to isn't about manipulation. It's about transformation. When you embrace silent power, you stop reacting out of fear and start commanding respect through your calm strength. With emotional control, you master your responses, not your emotions. You feel everything but act with clarity and purpose. And when you embody unshakable presence, you become a man who is grounded, focused, and deeply secure in himself. Someone who doesn't chase love, but naturally attracts it. These three pillars work together to build a magnetic force that draws her in, not through desperation, but through your evolution. Ask yourself, are you the storm or the calm in it? Women are drawn to men who offer peace, not chaos. If you've been hurt, ignored, or left behind, don't beg, don't chase. Instead, rise. Become the man who cannot be ignored. That's when everything changes. If you have questions, drop them in the comments. I'll be reading. And if this message hits home, if you're ready to rise above the noise and become unforgettable, then like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this with someone who needs it. Thanks for watching. Your presence matters.